In this tutorial, we'll look how to enter a 24-hour food diary into Nutrimen. So after you've logged in, then go to My Nutrimen page and then My Diaries and Start New Diary. We're going to create a new diary by entering the demographics of our client, so their age and their gender, and this means in an analysis screen later we'll be comparing it to the right DRVs. So our client was called Kate Smith. Our start date, we'll pick the 25th of November. We can either enter her date of birth or her age. I'm going to enter just her age of 19. And then Kate is female. And because she's female, it asks us whether she's pregnant or breastfeeding. She's not, so I leave those blank. We then need to decide how many nutrients we want to analyse, and for the vast majority of people and clients, 31 nutrients is sufficient. So I'm going to leave it at 31 and then just click Save. So now we're in the diary entry mode for Kate Smith, and we're going to enter the foods. So we've got the usual search box here, and I can see from her food diary that she had a breakfast of Weetabix and a cup of tea. So I'm going to type Weetabix. One Weetabix would be 20, and she had 2, so I'm going to make that 40. And then add to diary. I can either use the mouse or the enter button. Some semi-skim milk. So average with cereal here, and add. And she had a teaspoon of sugar on her Weetabix, so across we go for that. By default it's selected white sugar, but there's different types of sugar if you needed to change it. A heaped teaspoon, and in the diary. A cup of tea. So lots of different types of tea depending on how people take it. So you could choose which one. We'll go with average infusion with semi-skim milk. And then a mug, 260, and in it goes. Now you can see here that tea is in her food diary, and if we hover over it, there's a few options we could do with it. One thing that I would like to do is to save it in her favourites, because we know people who drink tea tend to drink a lot of tea, and the same thing will happen lots of times in the same day. So to move it into favourites, I'm going to just click on this heart button here, and it just moves it across there. So it's still in the food diary, but it's almost like putting it on a post-it next to your desk, so that when you want to, you can put it back in the diary to have some extra tea. So if you wanted to put another cup of tea in, we can just use that left arrow here and pop it back in, and now there's 2 cups of tea. Another one, 3 cups of tea. And if we've gone a bit over-enthusiastic, we can take some of those out then using the red cross to take it just down, just to 1 cup of tea for breakfast. So mid-morning then, she had a Kit Kat. So back into the search box then, and Kit Kat. And portion size then, she had a 2-bar one, adding to the diary. She had a cup of tea with that Kit Kat, so nice and easy, over to favourites, and then pop a cup of tea in. Moving over to lunch then, she had a sandwich with cheese and pickles, some crisps and a banana. So let's start with that sandwich. She had wholemeal bread. Average wholemeal bread. So she had 2 slices, so we're looking for a large loaf, which is a normal large loaf, 2 slices, 1 slice is 36, so 2 slices being 72. On that bread she had some utterly buttery spread, so let's go for fat spread, 70%. And you can see in the footnotes here, we've got utterly buttery as one of the footnotes from the McCants database. So how much would she have on 2 slices of bread? So on 1 slice of bread, medium thickness, she'd have 7 grams, so for 2 slices she'd have 14. Let's look for the cheddar. Cheddar cheese. So typical amount of cheese in a sandwich. Across it goes. Let's look for pickle. So thinking about how much you'd have on a cheese and pickle sandwich, I think probably about a tablespoon. Also then some crisps. So an average packet of crisps then, so not from a multi-pack, let's go for this portion size. And then a banana, a medium banana. And clearly without the skin. And that was her lunch. So mid-afternoon then, we're going to have a Miller corner yoghurt and some Coke. So let's look for yoghurt. Lots of different types of yoghurt, and in Miller corner yoghurt is a twin pot, thick and creamy with fruit. And we can see the portion size there, Milk on yogurt that we can put straight in. So Coke then, we go by the generic name of Cola in the McCants database. So it defaults to diet, but in this case Kate had normal Coke and just a can, so 330ml of normal Coke. And that's her mid-afternoon snack. So lastly we've got her evening meal. So she had some homemade lasagna, garlic bread, coleslaw, and a bit of cake. So we'll search for that lasagna first. Lots of different types of lasagna. Let's go with the homemade one and a typical portion of average homemade lasagna. Next, garlic bread. So one slice would be 20 grams, and we know she had 3 slices, so that's going to be 60 grams. Some coleslaw. So typical portion then, she said 2 tablespoons, so let's do 45 times 2, 90. Some sponge cake with a nice jam filling. Let's have a look. Jam filled. That sounds good. Typical slice across. And then just to finish off her day then, she had 2 glasses of red wine. So red wine across. So 1 glass 125, 2 glasses 250 across. And there we have, you can see for Kate Smith, diary day 1, all the different foods that she's consumed, starting with her Weetabix, her Kit Kat, her sandwich, her lasagna garlic bread, and finishing with her red wine. So you've got everything entered, it's automatically saved and ready for analysis. There's also a video tutorial about how to do dietary analysis. You might want to look at that one next.